Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. Welcome back to Valorant News. Loads to discuss today. 100 Thieves Rostermania is certainly underway. They are trialing some new players ahead of the start of VCT 2022. Updates on how the format for that is going to go, but also a preview to Champions that concludes this weekend. Very much intriguing your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, hitting that like button is the best thing you can do. Tell the channel reach new people, and please consider subscribing as well if you have not already. Loads of new subs the last few days. Smash through that 3,000 barrier. We just absolutely love to see it. Firstly, this from George Geddes. Lots of talk the last several days about some roster options that some teams are going through. Ambox player Marda set to explore other team options. They signed Harmful, it seems, and Alexander was gone off the team as well. So Ambox, some things certainly going on over there right now. Except they're also seemingly making some moves. They've begun to field replacements for Pura. So apparently he's going to look for some other team. So definitely a lot of these organizations making plenty of moves here throughout Champions and throughout, after Champions into the new year before the next season begins. But of course, none really bigger than 100 Thieves at the present time. This I wanted to mention real quick from Stacey because, of course, from Team Vikings here for this Champions event. A really great performer really on this team for a time. But, of course, they fell out of the tournament to Team Secret in the end. Didn't quite make it out of their groups. But he's officially a free agent. The translation kind of goes as follows, right? He discusses, thanks to his teammates, thanks to the team, all this type of stuff, saying that right now he's a free agent, largely because his contract is out of effect, and I'm willing to talk about new proposals, including with Vikings for next year. So he's saying, look, his contract has come to an end, therefore I'm a free agent. I'm going to field some roster options, potentially if another organization wants to pick me up, right, and build kind of a Brazilian super team, but also if Vikings want to keep me on, like I'm open to those contract negotiations. So I'm sure Stacey's going to find himself somewhere, proved to be a very solid player, I believe, this Champions event. But let's talk about 100 Thieves then. So these are really the big question marks coming out right now. What are 100 Thieves going to do for the upcoming season? Are they going to trial some players? Who's going to be their in-game leader? Because some discussions coming out the last day or so that a lot of the North American teams might be considering some sort of European IGLs to round out their rosters. Now, Nitro we saw leaving the roster a couple of days ago, getting officially transferred. It now seems as of today that his return to Team Liquid CSGO roster is pretty much set in stone. Of course, there's some other CSGO players still, for example, the Evil Geniuses squad that was woeful at the major most recently, are potentially coming to Valorant as well. And no big surprise that indeed may well be the case, as we will look at it in just a couple of seconds. Just to kind of explain the Nitro situation, right? So it seems like his transfer to Team Liquid CSGO team has been finalized, joining Elige and Naf over there. The rest of the squad yet to be confirmed, but heavily rumored what that might potentially be. There's a few names being thrown around really, which are kind of strange, frankly. But maybe we'll discuss that when the time does indeed come. But of course, 100 Thieves making loads of moves lately. They're going to have to, change up quite a lot of things to rebuild the roster to the level that it was at when they had Steel right for First Strike and all this type of stuff that happened when the game at first launched. Now, this is the discussion that's going on with the trialing that 100 Thieves are trying out right now. So firstly, we've got former NIP player Ekiz and then Evil Geniuses Counter-Strike player Breeze, right? So Breeze was a phenomenal player for a while on that EG roster. It was NRG first of all, I'm pretty sure, in Counter-Strike, then it was EG. And they were looking really good for a time. Like Breeze and Ethan, of course, have been a duo for quite some time. Of course, it does make perfect sense, really, that Breeze might be the one to join up with Ethan once again here on this 100 Thieves Valorant team. We kind of really thought that when EG were just absolutely, just atrocious, really, at the Stockholm Major, the PGL Stockholm Major, that maybe his return to, actually coming to Valorant might well be happening, right? So Breeze to 100 Thieves makes an awful lot of sense. But of course, they would need, if they've got Hiko still there, Asuna still there, Ethan still there, they would need some sort of IGL, with Nitro now leaving, and still, of course, gone. So maybe Ekiz is the man they're going to try out here from, formerly of NIP. So this seems to be right now what they're going for. Now, Breeze obviously would make a lot of sense if it doesn't work out, though, because I don't know how much Valorant he's really played. He's been a Counter-Strike player until very recently. I'm sure he can be a very talented player on the sticks in the Valorant side, but by no means guaranteed he's going to be a star. So maybe they're going to try out some, of course, trial him and see how things go there. But it seems like their IGL is the most important player to lock down right now, as I'm sure a lot of the other North American organizations are also trying to figure out who their IGLs are going to be. So as it explains right here, Breeze and Ekiz, potentially two players who participated in trials for 100 Thieves roster. Multiple sources told Upcomer and VLRGG on Friday. So seems like this is very well sourced. Then indeed, yes, this is a very realistic possibility. Neither player has signed for the team, but 100 Thieves have made significant efforts to sign an in-game leader during the off-season. They need to sign 2 more players, of course, to complete their roster. So of course, Ekiz right now lives in the UK, so almost certain he'll be flying out to the States if this does indeed go through. And honestly, a pretty well respected player, quite frankly, given his tenure in Valorant so far. So definitely a player that makes a fair bit of sense. Lines up with what we've heard the last few days, that there's there's a reasonable possibility, right, that a lot of North American teams are considering European in-game leaders to kind of round out their squad. Now, this would be kind of surprising if this was the squad of 5. I think, of course, the trial period does not necessarily mean this is going to be set in stone. I think a lot of people are certainly looking at Sinatraa right now and thinking, okay, is he going to find a team back in business? Like, what's going on there? I thought 100 Thieves could be an option for him, but, it seems like for now, they're going to take a different direction. We shall see if this new iteration of 100 Thieves is better than the old one, but, of course, a long way to go, of course, until things actually might get confirmed on this front. Let's discuss then also what came out yesterday. A very significant update to the VALORANT Champions Tour for 2022. Like, a TLDR, as they say right here, ready for 2022, we think we are. Now, a lot of changes right here, really, and frankly, a lot of upgrades, I think. This is kind of the overall measure of it. Like, if you guys want to check the entire video out, I'll leave a link for you guys down below. But, effectively what's happening here is relatively similar to last year. Challengers, Masters, you guys know how it goes. But Champions is a lot earlier in the title than it was this year. And they're bringing in this extra 3-month period towards the end of the year, which I think is absolutely fantastic. So they've got the LCQ in August, ahead of September. That's when Champions is actually going to be. So the season is relatively condensed here with Challengers, Masters, and all this type of stuff. Now, the tournament circuit at the end of the year is very different. There's also a Game Changers LAN event. I'm pretty sure the idea is to take all the best female teams from around the world, have a LAN event in December sometime, and have that actually as the LAN event for the female players, which I thought was awesome as well. But also this new tournament circuit. This, I believe, is something similar to the Ignition series, or whatever they call it, over in League of Legends, where for the last few months they're probably going to allow third-party organizers to run some of these tournaments, where the actual pro teams that are trying to figure out what their rosters are going to be, they can actually play in some of these tournaments to try things out. It's not an official VCT event, but it's organized to some degree. So this seems to be what direction they're taking. I really like the sound of it, to be honest. We'll see how this trends going forward as well, though, because I think EMEA, there might be some other stuff planned for the individual regions specifically, and also stuff like that. With all that being said, of course, Champions is still going on in the background at the present time. There are 2 semi-finals coming up today ahead of the grand finals tomorrow to determine who is going to be the VALORANT champion for the first ever season, right? 2021, right? And anyway, this is the bracket as you guys can see on screen right here. So Ascend beat Team Secret, Liquid beat Cloud9, Gambit, Fnatic, Fnatic fell out, of course, Crew found their way through the lower bracket. These are the 2 semi-finals going on today. Ascend versus Team Liquid. Of course, on paper, Team Liquid probably should be the team to beat right here for the rest of this tournament, frankly, given the way they've been playing so far. Ascend, I think they can put up a fight. I think the Team Liquid will take it. It might be a 2-1. There might be an overtime in here, but I think the Liquid probably should be too strong. I think they should go to the grand finals, and then Gambit versus Crew. Can Crew keep up this incredible run of form they've had the last few days? They've beat some incredible scalps really here in the scene so far. Like, they're taking out Fnatic. They took down, of course, Sentinels, right, to even make it to this point. Phenomenal run from those guys so far. But, Gambit are a different breed. I think Gambit are a really interesting team. I think I can certainly see a Game 3 on the horizon for this one, because they've, Gambit have been looking really good, but when they actually have a good map, but they can very easily lose maps, it seems, to teams right now, and don't necessarily come out on their top form all the time. So I think, Gambit versus Crew, this is the one that I'm particularly excited about. I think Gambit will win it in a 2-1 though, and finally knock out Crew, but who knows, right? Maybe Crew make it to the grand finals. Maybe they'll win the entire thing. It's not off the cards. Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hitting that like button tells the YouTube gods this is a good video, and I was like, you should see it as well, and I've grown the competitive VALORANT community. Thank you for watching as always, take care, and I will see you next time.